Yo, what is up? It is your boy Carnivalone here. What's up, guys? Your boy Carnivalone here. Okay, now you're most likely wondering, Conrad, are you going to be talking about South Park? Right, you seem to be branching off quite a bit. Yeah, I'm doing everything to actually branch off. That's the whole point. But here's the thing. I wanted to talk about this, because if you don't know already, basically apparently, the writer for She-Hulk, Dana Swartz, decided on February 13th to give a shit take on South Park, and frankly, and I'm gonna say this, it is because we all know what was gonna happen. She got backlash. People called her out on this, and she basically just said, "Oh man, it's just a bunch of trolls and babies." And keep in mind, this is what she says. In retrospect, it's impossible to state the cultural damage done by South Park. The show that portrays earnestness as the only sin and taught that mockery is the ultimate inclination against all criticism. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I believe personally what South Park does. Because if I remember the Filthy Frank show, and what Filthy Frank said one in the video Weeaboos, he said, whoa, oh, the moment I touch an anime, everybody starts saying, hey, that's not, man. And he just says, this is a Filthy Frank show, make up your goddamn mind. Here we insult everybody equally. No one gets any special treatment. That's the universal law of what because frankly, that is basically what comedy is. You're supposed to laugh at basically everything. You're really supposed to get on them hard-hitting hits, if anything. So that's what South Park does. It basically, everybody gets shit on equally, in fact. It doesn't matter. Smugness is not the same as intelligence. Provocation isn't the same as bravery. Lesser TV rules aren't the same. It seems like... Oh my god. Okay, one thing I hate about people who are on Twitter, and especially those with like merch, I understand this is a thing that can happen to anybody. I understand that. I really do, but it always annoys me when someone just messes up when they type. Then again, autocorrect can do that too, so I don't really blame anybody. It seems like South Park has been trying to reckon with this. I admit I haven't been watching this show in recent seasons, but I'm fascinated to see this. Yes, even though in that actual episode where they actually do go to Al Gore, funny enough, he actually do try to talk about, actually to try to bring up when they're asking for help. He's like, oh, so you need my help. Al Gore gets all snarky. He's saying, I always knew and I was right. But whenever the kids actually did try to bring up, hey, there were some parts where you were wrong too. It's like, and then he just starts like, oh, I'm not gonna help you then. And because the moment they try to actually contradict what he says, is the moment that they just sort of just like, he's just like, no, I'm right. You have to just, right? So you have to listen to me if you want my help. It's kind of narcissistic. But ultimately, to be clear, I don't blame the show itself as much as I do blame generation of boys who internalize into their personalities, which. Of course, it's the boys. It's us. It's us guys. So, you know what I hate about current year bullshit like this? It's always the men's fault. It's the men's fault this, men's fault that. Why? Why? It's always getting annoying to have to hear this stuff continuously. It really is. But never mind that. Some very well-adjusted South Park fans. Don't be upset because you're a woman and therefore Oh, I want to just. Oh no, not against. I'm not gonna say anything. I just really can't because because I don't want to be called a misogynist, and I'm really not. Trust me, I love badass female characters wholeheartedly. Come on, in the words of Spike, like I love a woman that can kick my ass. Funny enough, that's one of the few lines I know from Cowboy Bebop, and I haven't even watched the anime. Proof I'm totally a failure, isn't it? Looking at you mocking people, look at you mocking people for enjoying things. My point is that self proceeds to teach us that. Wait, hold up. The recording brings a really good scene right here. So let me just play it for you guys.
Wendy, okay? Get over it. Just do women's comedy stuff, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
I don't feel like being funny right now.
And that's just the kind of sexist bullcrap that's going to keep you in the kitchen. Sit your ass down.
I'm sorry, but that's just fucking hilarious. I mean, Cartman, I think we all just can agree that Cartman's not someone that people agree is like a hero. I think we can all agree Cartman's an asshole, and no one likes him and thinks that he's someone they should idolize, right?
Disavow.
Right, this was
And then you get Ricky in the replies, Mark Dice with "You're a moron." What's next? Complaining that Tom and Jerry taught animal abuse is okay. Neon Taster goes, so I guess you learned to be smug and belligerent elsewhere. And then you have stuff that's like, if you're offended by this tweet, I'm sorry that you're easily triggered.
No, I'm not offended. I'm just contradicting what you're saying because it's such a shit take. You're saying that basically South Park has taught an entire generation of people to be narcissistic, sick, nihilistic, and not care about anything. When, if that was the whole message of South Park, we'd just be seeing episode after episode of everyone being in a shitty situation and everybody just giving up because there's no hope of fixing it. And I believe that in her article she references this. I think it was either Chris Reagan or her that references the episode of where everything was just bleak and pointless. When Stan grows up and realizes there's no because everything turns to shit. The funny thing is, she forgets to bring up the next episode, which I believe, is called Asperger's. That episode, Stan is actually recruited by people who are saying that they are like it's like a joke version of Matrix, where realize everything is shit. They just realize everything's shit. So they believe and then they just force and they drink like a huge drug of tequila, and then he's in the Matrix. But then ultimately, like way later on in the episode, it's just like with this, Stan realizes, yeah, I'm growing up, but that doesn't mean anything. My life's changing, growing. Everything's just. I think it was like way later on. It was like Stan's own little mini arc as he got older. And that was like the resolution. He actually understood at this point that life is just going to continue changing, and I'm going to continue to growing, and I'm going to develop. And at this point, I just got to take a turn. I recommend you watch the episode. I may have fucked up it, but ultimately, then everything just turns back to normal. It's like, hey, no, wait, left. No, we just need to take a turn. Move a different route. Move forward in life. Like, and they're just like, oh man. And then he's just at this episode, he said, no, I'm just going to drink. Yeah, actually, that's actually the thing he does at the end of the episode, which is actually kind of fucking funny.
Oh, that was her. But you do get some white knights in the bro.
Okay, no bashing, no hatred. Don't send any of these people hate. But frankly, we gotta make fun of this. We're living among a generation of trolls who don't realize Carmen is supposed to be a joke, not the hero. What? Oh no! I thought Carmen was supposed to be a character we're supposed to root for. I mean, it's not like he's the embodiment of what these people technically are. Now I'm gonna turn on the music. Now, I could easily just bring up some past about this person, told me so that she herself is not someone you should really believe. I could. But you should watch the recording's video to see that. Now, ultimately, we're going over to here. Hold on, let me just check, because if it is... I don't think it's here. Okay. Now you must like wondering, Conrad, why are you on the recording again? Because I don't want to give this person any news on our actual article. Plus, you're most likely questioning what this is. Trust me, we're getting to that one in a moment. Alright, but these people are just praising the fact. I don't want it again. See, just shutting up. No, we're contradicting and calling yeah. Here's the thing: if South Park was supposed to be this oppression or cultural war, then I want to explain this. Now, there are two nostalgic videos right here, and I'm gonna play both. Oh shit! I forgot to get the Duckman. Hold up! 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 Where is it? 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 Okay, we're just gonna probably have to deal with some things, but we're gonna be right here at the #1 spot. It's what he says here and in this episode, so that you must take into consideration immediately.
Keep an open mind. The #1 best South Park episode is Osama bin Laden has farty pants. Hold it! Let me explain the reason why I think this is the best episode. It's not the funniest episode. It's not the smartest episode. It's not even the best written episode. But it came at a time when America needed South Park. It had been 3 months since the previous South Park episode, and in that time, not only did 9/11 happen, but a series of anthrax attacks that was being sent through the mail was putting the country in a state of absolute fear. Security tightened everywhere, our country was on the brink of war, America was changed forever. Nobody knew how or what to feel. So when the news that South Park was going to return to TV was announced, a lot of people were wondering, what are they gonna do? What could they do? Would it be a touching episode, an in-depth episode? What side would they pick? What issues were they going to tackle? What the hell was South Park going to do? Literally, the first frame set the mood.
Remember when life used to be simple and cool? Not really.
This is what we needed. We needed a good laugh at the entire thing, and we needed it to be done by South Park. The episode shows the overly secured and paranoid America waving flags everywhere for support and hiding in their homes, feeding their fear by watching the news. Through a misunderstanding, the boys are forced to send $1 each to Afghanistan kids as part of a charity program, and they in return send a goat. They don't want the goat though and wish to return it via plane, but end up getting caught in the flight. Through, per usual, a strange series of events, the boys end up discovering Osama bin Laden. And the rest of the show is just making him look like the most pathetic ass.
Oh, bella, bella falafel, mi amore, fatwa.
It was as over-the-top, raunchy, silly, and cartoony as they had ever been in the past.
Oh, I got him!
Everybody was talking about it the next day. Did you see that episode of South Park? Wasn't it hilarious? That was just what I needed. God, I'm glad they're still so funny. There have been jokes made about the state of our country before this episode, other satires and commentaries, but this was the one that Americans needed. Uncompromising, unapologetic, not worrying about who they offended, just trying to make people laugh. It was just the right jokes at just the right time, delivered by just the right people. Giuliani showed us we needed to be strong, Letterman showed us we needed to cry, South Park showed us we needed to laugh. I'm not gonna say it changed everything or erased all our fears that we had before, but a good comedian knows the power of laughing and how important it is. It not only makes you feel good, but it can help you out through some of the darkest moments of your life. And in one of America's darkest moments, this helped a great deal. It helped us in only the strange ways South Park can help us, by not backing down to anything and just doing what they thought was funny. And whether it was a huge roar or the tiniest little chuckle, everybody felt their spirits raise a little bit after seeing this episode. It's the best episode because it's the only episode that reminds us that we not only like South Park, but we surprisingly need it.
Hopefully, you guys watch to the end. Keep in mind, this is what South Park is. We need when shit gets hit, when shit hits the fan, when you're in a dark scenario, like we were right then and there. South Park came to at least alleviate that pain, to make us laugh, to at least know what, at least be somewhat better, not consumed by fear. And keep note that the writer Dana Swartz wants to blame South Park for all these bad things, like it's damaged us. Really, in a time when America needed South Park, and it delivered something and gave us, let us at least feel a little bit happier and laugh, get some jokes off of us, and feel a breath of fresh air. You're telling me South Park caused problems? And I want to go to this next part. God damn it, an ad. I'm muting it. I can never predict for an ads. You guys know this. Holy shit. Now you're most likely wondering, Connor, what is this? Just watch this video. It's actually a really good video. But I need to say what it says here. Or rather, I should just let Doug do it because he's better at this.
Comedy should provoke. It should blast through prejudices, challenge preconceptions. Comedy should always leave you different than when it found you. Sure, humor can hurt, even alienate, but the risk is better than the alternative. A steady diet of innocuous, child-proof, flavorless mush. Demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be treated like thinking, reasoning adults, and raise your children to do the same. Don't let a comedian, a network, a congressional committee, or an evil genius take away your freedom to laugh at whatever you want.
Now, you're most likely still wondering what the hell this has anything to do. Now, the writer of this article, which I shall name, I actually did read this article when I was in class. Class, don't question me. I had time. It was by Katrin Timpf. Now, we're gonna go down. And my screen went black. The moment these happen to my laptop, it's just, I'm numb to it at this point. Don't worry, it should come back soon. Unless it's black for me and it's white for you guys. There it is. Alright. So, for controversies on weird. Now, I would recommend you read the whole thing, but I'm going to go to a specific in the article. Because it taught me I can laugh. The thing is, though, that precisely why I think it is so great is because it taught me I can laugh, even at life's most horrific atrocities, disarming its toughest challenges by demonstrating that even they are not untouchable by the powerful healing forces of humor. Now, what I'm about to read, keep 100% in mind. One time in particular comes to mind. I was in college and had just found out my mom had breast cancer. I was young, I was away from home, I was scared, and I was lost. It was perhaps the first time I felt that truly terrifying feeling that nothing truly is unshakable. That's the time that the things we consider to be the foundations in our lives are truly too unreliable to be thought of in that way at all. This writer was young when she heard that news. She was in college. That level of fear is something I pray no one has to experience. And I hope, and I pray, and I pray that mom did just did was cured of breast cancer. I really do pray, hope that she was one of the survivors of that disease. That week, I was relaxing watching episodes of South Park with my friends. An episode came up that was centered on jokes about breast cancer. I will never forget what happened to everyone's eyes in that room, darting around between nervous looks at one another, and nervous looks at me, trying to make sure that I was okay without having to take without having to take the risk of saying the wrong thing. Of course, I wasn't okay. How could I be? But here's the thing. I hadn't been okay before the episode came on. It's not like because of that episode I just remembered that my mom had cancer or that it had somehow gotten worse because Carmen was making fun of it. I had already been thinking about it because I was thinking about it nonstop. When I saw that episode though, I did something that I hadn't done in a while. I laughed, and laughing felt amazing. Now once again, I'm keeping the music off. That's when you know I'm serious. Keep in mind, this writer, you're Dana Swartz. And if you're watching this, I want you to understand. You basically attacked a show that does what it needs to do. It treats people like adults. It makes them laugh. It heals them at least a little bit from the pain and bullshit that is life. No, I'm gonna say fucking us. Life, life's basic goal is to fuck you. There'll be at some points where you can win, but life will majority of times beat you down till you are broken, battered, and bruised. Shit like bad things will happen. And there will be at points where you feel like you can't do anything about it. But you know what the best thing to do when you're staring at that big evil monster? It's to laugh. South Park laughs at it. It gets other people to laugh. That is South Park as a whole. It's supposed to make people feel joy, to laugh. South Park teaches at least just lessons. It doesn't just give us some bleak, nihilistic, oh, there's no point. It always gives some hopeful message, even when it shows that it's bleak. But ultimately, this Marvel writer, who, may I remind you, I am personally making sure I could show you some things that could show that she's a horrible person. But I'm not gonna do that because it's too easy. And this woman wants to say that everyone calling her out for it is just a troll, and it's just a male who's a fake male who's truly has no IQ. You is clearly just blah 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 blah. Did I insult her? Yes. Because frankly, one, this is the internet. Deal with it. Are you really gonna whine and bitch about oh some person left a comment mean comments on me I'm gonna cry in my room for 24 fucking days straight. Wait, oh my god. Grow a pair. Okay, that really was a boring thing, but literally, one metaphorical one. That's what I mean by it. Grow a metaphorical pair. Here, don't get whiny and moany because frankly people were mean to you on the internet.
While trashing the
Internet. This is the internet. No one here is nice. Okay, there are nice people on the internet, but frankly, everyone shits on each other. We constantly make digs on each other. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yeah, all YouTubers are friendly to each other. No! Seriously, we have literal people on this platform whose whole channel is staring, just calling, is going after specific people on this platform that are shit people. Oh wow! It's almost as if people hate each other. And also, let's not forget that when you give a shit take on the internet, excuse me, don't think that, oh, no one's gonna oppose you. Just because you are blue checkmark and you're on Twitter, that scumfuck piece of shit of a website that brings this mentality of stupidity and praises people for the most shittiest takes ever humanly conceived. Don't think that somehow when people call you out or dick, you, that it's suddenly just trolls and just South Park fans. Oh wow, yeah. South Park fans who may have had some deep shit happen to them in their lives, and that one episode of South Park made them feel better. I'm sorry. And keep in mind, she says game theorizers. No game theorists ever talked about it, to my knowledge. And the only top videos that had the most views at the time, were both Chris Reagan's and the Quarterings. Those were the two. Two. It's a Gundam made a video on it as well. Well, respect. I type. Miss Dance portrayed the earnestness. Concrete. Okay, this is how I really don't believe she's watched South Park. I don't believe she has. Because if she watched South Park and got this message of nihilism, then she really didn't truly watch South Park. Because keep in mind, recently South Park's been kind of taking digs on the blue side. I'm saying the blue side because because that's what I'm just gonna say. And those specifically members of that blue side don't like it. Note that it's basically hypocrisy. They're fine with the red side getting attacked, getting insulted on, but when it comes to them, oh no, they suddenly start getting upset. The universal law is basically a huge contradiction to them. Basically, we can insult that group of people, but but you can't insult us. Keep in mind, Miss Source, when South Park comes back on its next season, you're probably gonna get a huge hurricane. You're gonna probably get a huge slam and by the writers. It's either that, or they decide to basically write you off from existence and ignore you and not even talk about you in their video. Talk about you in the entire season in general. Which, universally, is a way bigger diss than actually talking about you. Anyway, let's just watch.
Game theorizers. The both sides are equally bad cynicism that had spread from
The 20. Okay. Why? Why do all these people bring up the 2016 election? It's like, Trump. You know, this is how come our entertainment media is technically dying a lot because of this? Because they're always just going over, It's weird. It just gets to just become trashier and trashier and trashier, sheer to the point of where you're just realizing, why? Why is our entertainment media being so horrible? Why is it was so good in the past? Why is it now bad? And then these people start, it's just a lot of shit.
2016 election.
You can tell that this person is. In fact, I don't even need to show you the article. Just watch the Courting's video on it. I'd rather you do that than give this person attention. Ultimately, I'm going to play back the music. Because frankly, we've been kind of naked without it for quite a while. Let's pull back up. see, during this time, I had plenty. I'm gonna actually continue reading. Plenty of support. I had plenty of people, plenty of shoulders to cry on, plenty of hugs, and more than enough. OMG, do you need anything? But this episode, which I would later learn was titled "Breast Cancer Show Ever," gave me something that I hadn't had before I saw it. The actual ability to laugh at the object of my grief. My friends, of course, expected the show's material to weaken me, but it did the opposite. Seeing that little cartoon sociopath Eric Cartman unable to restrain his laughter when a classmate is trying to give an impassioned speech about breast cancer because it had the words breasts in it, Cartman called it potty talk. I can repeat the expression. I'm not reading that last part. Made me feel a sort of power over my distress. It gave me a break from having to think of my mom's illness only in terms of pain, destruction, and death that it can cause. It comforted me by showing me that, though the issue my family was facing was serious, it didn't mean it was untouchable by humor and laughter. This wasn't the only thing did South Park did me this kind of favor. The only time, actually, that South Park did me this favor. For example, I struggled with ADD, anxiety, and depression since childhood. As someone with ADHD, someone can relate. Although I kinda just did relate and I just laughed my ass off. South Park just gave me some joy when I needed it the most. Actually, was true today. I don't have depression though. Keep that in mind. I may say some weird shit on some of my videos, but I'm perfectly stable now. Seeing these topics effectively satirized with the show's character Tweak gave me permission to laugh at myself when it came to something that everyone around me already had only treated painfully serious. Seeing someone else finding humor, it gave me permission to find things about it that were funny too. And nothing seems quite insurmountable after you found a way to make it a joke. Now, I am not, of course, saying that everyone in these situations would have felt the same way. In fact, I'm certain that a lot of people wouldn't have. But guess what? It doesn't matter at all. Not all comedy has to work for all people. That's a fucking fact. We have various different types of comedy. So why does all forms of comedy have to go with the safe version? We need our crude comedy. We need our dark comedy. We need our edgy comedy. We need these types of comedies. Because if we just go with the safe, bland mush, again, Duckman video. The shit is right there. I should just ultimately play that whole video second because apparently, frankly, this needs to be said twice.
Proof flavorless mush. Demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be prejudices, challenge preconceptions. Comedy should always leave you different than when it found you. Sure, humor can hurt, even alienate, but the risk is better than the alternative. A steady diet of innocuous, child-proof, flavorless mush. Demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be treated like thinking, reasoning adults, and raise your children to do the same. Don't let a comedian, a network, a congressional committee, or an evil genius take away your freedom to laugh at whatever you want.
That just speak for itself. Make no mistake, the people accusing South Park of ruining our culture, of being terrible because it's rushed treatments of the subjects. They think that they're being compassionate. They think that they're speaking for the people who feel mocked by the show. And they are standing up for them. They think themselves selfless, loving heroes. Which, in all honesty, this is what those people actually think. Now, keep in mind, as an African American, when I say this, as someone of Haitian descent, whose skin is dark, 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 who, yeah, maybe some part of my family was enslaved. I want to say this. I don't ever, and I mean ever, want to hear a white person say to me, I'm so sorry what my people did to you, you. I'm so sorry. Do you need me to do thing or for them to defend me, blind, spend my entire race, or talk as if they're speaking for me. I want to be treated like a fucking equal. I don't ever want to be looked at as a coddled little child. I am fucking 19. I am literally now in college. I am technically an adult. And I don't want later down in my life for people to then just talk or hire me because I'm black. I don't want people to try to be friends with me because I'm black, black. I don't want people to defend me or try to fight for my side because I'm black. I don't believe it when people do this. It's because, frankly, keep in mind, I hate it the most when people act like that. If you're gonna defend me because you know me personally, know who I am deeply. If not, be skeptical, look at all the evidence, and don't just blindly support me because I'm a black person. It's the same shit with the whole. I could say something, but frankly, no more. They're not. In fact, they're the opposite. They are so self-centered that they expect the entire world's tastes and values to conform to their own sensibilities. The rest is for you guys to read. She isn't wrong. These people, they aren't speaking for me. They aren't speaking for any race. They're speaking for themselves. They are selfish people. They are self-centered and genuinely don't act like you're trying to speak for me. You want to know one of the things I do not like? If in fact it goes back to that Still Spectre video where he was trying to speak for everybody, like as if everybody was on that was supportive to bring back National X movement. Keep in mind, no mind, he was trying to include everybody as if he knows what's best. That, I probably wasn't super angry at the point, but that is actually disgusting. You shouldn't try to make it sound like everybody was included when no one was included. Rather, when not everyone was included, because everybody has their own perspectives on it. Ultimately, trying to make one side seem like, oh wow, it's because of these people that our great side was damaged. We are clearly the good guys. People have different fucking beliefs and tastes. There were some people who were supportive of it, and some that weren't. Shocker. Shocker. But, oh, guess what? So what? The rational members of that side could accept the fact that there were some that weren't on their side. Meanwhile, the rest of those morons rest of them were just completely just attacking and shilling and calling those people more like fools or dumbasses. See where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with this? This is a thing. Ultimately, what I'm saying here is 1. South Park. No. What I'm saying here is Dana Swartz, if you're watching this, and if you actually have watched all the way through, don't talk like you know what you're saying. Don't act like you're speaking for everybody. Don't act like you're speaking for me. What I hate the most from you blue check marks on Twitter is that you're acting like you're speaking for me. We're defending you people. I'm more disgusted by you people than anyone else. You wanna know what the actual bad guys are? It's these people who believe that the whole world should conform to their fucking mentality. Because if that meant, then basically I just keep getting bland, flavorless mush of comedy. I'm sorry, but I like my comedy to actually have a little bit of dark humor. I like to have a little bit of lewd humor. Keep in mind that these are the same people who don't like who want interspecies reviewer gone. They don't want it showing or anything. They harass Funimation to get it removed. If you can't handle heat, then get out of the kitchen. That expression alone should basically be saying, you don't like it, then don't watch it. Shit, you don't want to hear about it, then leave. Leave. Because you're basically trying to say comedy, the South Park's comedy, should conform to what you want it to be. And that, frankly, is a world I don't want to fucking live in. You're basically telling my viewers, telling everybody with that tweet that South Park shouldn't be like this and should conform to what our society stands for. Yeah, what does society stand for? What does Hollywood stand for? What does Disney stand for? You want that bland, blabber, this mush, boring crap? Slapstick humor exists. You want to remove that too? Too? You want to have these boring, where does the chicken cross the road? Or do you want to go with, oh, well, these people who are of, blah, 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 and then the punchline is, hey, that's my privilege. Hey, you have privilege, you blooby bloop. Oh my god, that's such a good zinger. Ha ha ha. Oh my god, I literally would just bash my head against the wall and hope that I would basically be sent to the hospital, or I would be knocked out from actually doing it. Because frankly, I wouldn't want to listen to such horrid, rancid jokes that are so lame and worthless. That it would literally make me lose 100, lose a majority, if not all, of my brain cells. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm mad. I really am not. Trust me. If you've watched previous videos, I get angry. Watch some previous videos. I can show real anger. But when I say this shit, I mean it. You cannot speak for us. You cannot speak for the people. But you clearly don't like South Park. Guess what? When you don't like something in life, you don't watch it. If you can't do that, then here's my honest, kind-hearted opinion. Just don't watch it. This is going to be the number, by the way. Don't watch it. Because you clearly cannot handle it. I'm being honest when I say this. I'm being honest. There are points where you can't watch an episode, then don't force yourself to watch. If there's an anime you don't want to watch, then don't watch it. Don't watch because people are saying it's super popular. Don't do it. You clearly don't like it. It's clearly not to your taste, and don't fucking watch it. But don't sit there and say that this show is bad because it doesn't conform to societal standards. Oh wow, yeah. What are those societal standards? You mean the boring, bland mush that we're getting at constantly talks about? No, no, no. That talks about the lamest and boring jokes at the common denominator? No. I want this comedy. I want this comedy to stay forever. Because keep in mind that if we don't have this comedy, then guess what? What else is there? What if another horrific event happens? What are we gonna do? We're just gonna be sitting around in fear, letting it consume us, and we're just gonna die because of it. Or we can use use South Park, use shows like it, use comedy itself to laugh at it. Ultimately, I want to at least laugh at the darkness, because in the end, it lets a little bit of light peer out of that dark hole, that dark void. Small amount, and that's enough to get me through anything. Because I want to at least see how bright it is on the other end. Ultimately, that's the end of the video, guys. We're at 45 minutes. I'm sorry that was really long, but I really wanted to get this out of my chest. I'm probably gonna put Marvel Writer doesn't understand comedy, the comedy, and bash South Park. Truly, she doesn't understand comedy. Better yet, why South Park is this way. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna put Marvel Writer doesn't understand South Park. Anyway, this is your boy Connor Valone signing off. Please sure to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, subscribe to push on new if I have any future uploads. For ado, this is your boy Connor Valone signing off.